to direct performance to achieve given goals. And an entrepreneur is an optimist. You know, he's always hoping that things will turn out well. But a manager is a realist. He's willing to look at the possibility of things not working out well. But the entrepreneur believes that his drive, his passion can do everything. So these are subtle differences why some people make a wreck of the businesses they start. They start the businesses and then they ruin the business because of the lack of discipline and rigor that is required in managing businesses.
So they have to learn to let go at some point.
For certain, either let go at some point or recruit managerial competence to assist you achieve your entrepreneurial pursuit.
You know, many people have to join forces with like-minded people when starting a business for various reasons. Sometimes for to be able to raise capital, sometimes because he has a skill that I don't have. You know, what are the most important principles to observe in a partnership?
First, the critical thing is that there must be a commonality of worldview, because if we don't have commonality of worldviews, then there are going to be different interpretations of a given paradigm. So that's what you must see, somebody that has a similar worldview. That is critical. And secondly, somebody that also complements you, because sometimes people are looking for people who are like them. I think that would be okay, but then you might not be able to have a quantum leap in terms of achievements. So you need somebody. If you are essentially conservative, you need to partner with somebody that is a little bit progressive. If you're less risk-taking, you need to meet somebody that is more risk-taking, and so forth and so on. That, I believe, works better, so that there's a complementarity. And when you add the sum, you achieve greater heights. Young people have broken and separated just because they can't appropriate rewards. Somebody thinks, I'm working harder, I'm putting more hours. Those things are things you should have defined. If you work so much, if you do this, if you're the active partner, if you are the inactive partner, because in businesses you bring people who are active and non-active, and they put money together. Money is one thing, but the guy who spends his whole time doing that business while you are doing other things must have a proper compensation related to the amount of hours or the sacrifice he's making. Every business that will grow, every enterprise that will grow, we need second, third parties. And at every stage, whether you're inviting people to subscribe to your shares, or you're inviting partnerships, or trying to acquire or divest, you must always be clear that everybody understands what is in it for themselves. That causes sustainability.
Nigeria's ranking in the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business report has remained behind countries like Rwanda, Ghana, South Africa. What are the constraints, and how can we be dealing with them?
Well, I believe that the number one constraint we have is that we do not have the disposition as a nation of a country that appreciates the contribution of businesses to economic well-being. We have come from a background where the public sector earning, government earning, has tended to play a significant role in the economy. And the public sector has such a wide impact on the economy. The economy is structured that we're all looking up to the private sector, public sector, give us license, give us foreign exchange, give us everything. Everything you have to beg and scrounge and wait and go. So for me, it is the philosophical base of a country. A country that has understanding of contribution of business to its economy will behave differently. So that's the first, the philosophical base. Let us from the top to the bottom. I give the example when I say, look, if I'm Minister of industry. I'll spend like 1/4 of my time in the office. The other time I'm going to be walking on the streets. I'm going to appear in Ikeja, and I'm going on our background, Ikeja industrial area. And I'll stop by the right to Beja Paints and say, Beja Paints, how are you doing? They say, fine. How was business last year? What was your achievement? How many people are you employing? Beja Paints tells me what they did. I say, okay, Beja Paints, what can I do for you to double your sales, double your staff? And I'll be taking notes. I cross to CAPL, I cross to SKG Pharma. When I finish that in 1 week, I go back to my office and look at what they have said that will make their business grow. Now, let me tell you, the moment a minister of industry walks into your office and just asks you this question, what do I do for you to double your sales or your employment? That will change the dynamic of the company. Without even doing anything, just that the minister has shown that he wants you to grow. Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody is interested. You know, most times it's as if you've committed a crime to start a business, because you're going to be barraged by local government authorities, state authorities, federal authorities. That leads to the multiple taxation in addition to the philosophical issues I raised. I was returning to the country 2 days ago, and I wanted to see the impact of the vice president's visit. And it's a shame that I didn't see much, because the same number of people, 10 people will look at your passports and pass it. And then, you know, long queues. We had so many foreign investors or foreigners in that flight. In fact, they were almost more than Nigerians. Whereas we Nigerians had 3 or 4 stations to pass our passport, there was only 1 station for long queue, and it didn't occur to anybody that these are people who could be investors, and the first impression they get is the way they are handled, the way they are treated. You know, so I think there has to be a general orientation of the country that business is important, that we should attract investment. We should make our country investment friendly, and we should go with all our hands and all our legs to ask for that investment.